Hey everybody, Nick Espinosa, your chief security fanatic here, and today, I really hate doing this video and podcast, I swear. This is like beating a dead horse, but new information keeps coming out, and it just keeps reinforcing why none of us should use TikTok, because now, TikTok won't commit to stopping US data from going to China. Now, here's what's going on. This is coming from CNN Business, and I don't know why anybody, when fully informed on TikTok, would actually use TikTok. It's really not worth the addiction. So here's what's up. TikTok repeatedly declined to commit to U.S. lawmakers this past Wednesday that the short-form video app would cut off data flows from their U.S. data centers to China, instead promising that the outcome of its negotiations with the U.S. government would, quote, satisfy all national security concerns, end quote, whatever that means. Now, testifying before the Senate Homeland Security Committee, TikTok's Chief Operating Officer, COO, Vanessa Pappas, first sparred with Senator Rob Portman over the details of TikTok's corporate structure before being confronted twice with a very specific request. Now, Senator Portman asked, and I quote, will TikTok commit to cutting off all data and data flows to China, China-based TikTok employees, ByteDance employees, or any other party in China that might have the capability to access information on U.S. users? End quote. Now, the question reflects the bipartisan concerns in D.C. about the possibility that U.S. user data could find its way to the Chinese government and be used to undermine U.S. interests thanks to a national security law in China that compels companies there to cooperate with data requests. I've talked about that 2017 law that the Communist Party of China has put out that basically says if you are an organization or a cloud platform like TikTok, for example, based in China, but gathering information on foreigners, meaning Americans or anybody that's not a Chinese citizen, they have the right to access all of that data at will. That is law in that country. Now, U.S. officials expressed fear that China could use Americans' personal information to identify useful potential agents or intelligence targets or to inform future mis- or disinformation campaigns. Yes, exactly. All the stupid things that happen on TikTok, they are collecting a massive amount of people. And if you were playing the long game and looking at that 13-year-old doing stupid things on TikTok right now, when that 13-year-old is 33 or 43 and running for Congress or is a high-profile CEO, guess who has damning information on that individual? This is crazy. I can't believe this. Now, to continue, TikTok does not operate in China, according to Pappas, though they do have an office in China, which is an utterly ridiculous statement. China is owned by ByteDance. Their founder is Chinese. They have offices in China. Their original name was ByteDance Beijing. Basically, ByteDance also has other platforms that they operate in China. That is total BS, because if you recall, on top of what I just said, U.S. concerns about TikTok were renewed after BuzzFeed News basically had a report in June that was based on leaked meeting audio that said ByteDance employees had accessed user data on multiple occasions. In subsequent letters to lawmakers, TikTok acknowledged the ability for China-based individuals to access U.S. data, but highlighted cybersecurity controls that were, quote, overseen by our U.S.-based security team. Now, if you recall my reporting on this, and again, I'm taking this from multiple sources, there's little audio there basically of US employees of TikTok saying, well, yeah, we got to call essentially the big guy or the manager in China to essentially get this information or gain access to stuff. They can absolutely access these things. And we have basically like a 3 or 4 or maybe 5-month window of audio recordings that were basically turned over by a whistleblower. So I don't believe this at all. Now, on top of this, Senator Portman then pressed the COO Pappas again to commit to, quote, cutting off all data and metadata flows to China, end quote. But Pappas simply vowed that, again, and I quote, our final agreement with the U.S. government will satisfy all national security concerns. Now, on top of this, later on in that hearing, COO Pappas also testified to Missouri Republican Senator Josh Hawley that the entire contents of the BuzzFeed article was false. Quote, we disagree with with the categorization in that article wholeheartedly, end quote. Quite frankly, I don't believe you. Now, on top of this, TikTok previously said that it had moved its user data to cloud servers managed by Oracle from servers that TikTok controlled in Virginia and Singapore, and that it would eventually delete backups of US user data from those proprietary servers. What we knew is that they were essentially ripping the Oracle servers, or basically all the data was sitting in Oracle's cloud infrastructure here, but they were backing it up essentially and replicating it to Singapore. And so we have no idea. And this is one of the biggest problems that we also have when we are talking about cloud service providers. I don't care if it's a stupid app that you're using that was made by one person or TikTok itself. Once the data basically leaves your device, goes and hits the first data center, there is nothing that the front end user can see about where they are taking that data and copying it to. So on the back end, they can be copying it to China or Timbuktu or anywhere in between, and we would have no clue as we are simply analyzing the traffic that is leaving TikTok going to an Oracle infrastructure server. So this is what we're talking about here. They can do anything, they can claim anything, but without an actual audit of that infrastructure, of that configuration, they could be literally replicating everything to Beijing right now, and the only one that could really tell us that, although they won't because they're probably under contractual agreements for non-disclosure, would be Oracle, that actually manages the infrastructure and leases it to TikTok and every other provider that they've got. Now, on top of this, there's also ongoing talks with CFIUS, that's the U.S. government body composed of multiple agencies with national security jurisdiction, about basically the handling of U.S. data in TikTok. And obviously, this is a huge, huge thing. If you look at the way corporate structure is in China, there is basically no real difference between a Chinese corporation and the Chinese government. The Chinese government is the largest surveillance state in the world. It has access to absolutely everything. And as I am a person that has personally worked for U.S. interests, for private corporations, etc., actually in China, what we find that where this traffic gets routed, what we find infected, what we see installed on users' computers, thinking, oh, well, this is just a simple translation application. It's absolutely unbelievable the amount of infections and surveillance that go on in that country. And so when we were talking about this, I cannot take American TikTok employees at their word. We have actual leaked whistleblower confirmation of this. We also have multiple other confirmations of everything from TikTok privacy violations to the fact that we simply know it was founded and based in Beijing, China, as it eventually basically absorbed Musical.ly to become TikTok as we know it now. So this is a huge issue. I can't believe that anybody would still actually want to use TikTok, and TikTok themselves won't actually say, yes, we 100% commit to not sending any kind of data from the United States whatsoever to China, and that should be a massive red non-communist flag for everybody. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, but you can't follow me on TikTok because, quite frankly, I don't have a TikTok account. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everyone.